I've had the, as I said, I've had the opportunity to meet and be with a lot of players over the last 2 years, and the process has been mostly just a learning process where I've gotten to know the players and being able to understand how they feel about the Ryder Cup. And I can tell you that all the players that I talked to, every one of them, without a doubt, had one thing to say about the Ryder Cup. They want to go back and they want to make amends for what happened in Medina 2 years ago. And I said that from the beginning. I said that from the beginning. From our standpoint, our team has that one focus. The Europeans played great in the last round in 2012, and and that was a hard loss for the American players, and it still sticks with a lot of them. And I've had the opportunity to talk with them, and at this point, I'd like to really start off with the very first one, who was he has the bag of Ryder Cup clothes still in his room, unopened from 2012. Keegan Bradley. And Keegan was he's the epitome of somebody who wanted to get on the team. He has struggled with it, honestly. He wanted to make the team so badly. And I commend him for playing under the amount of pressure he put on himself. And that's one of the reasons that I picked him, because he played with all this pressure on himself to get on the Ryder Cup team. Keegan has the ability to hit the ball a long way. In fact, he came up to Glen Eagles before the Open Championship and played with me basically as a practice round. He took that day out of his time to prepare for the Open Championship to come up to Glen Eagles, and that was a special time to go around the golf course and seeing how he played the golf course. Now, Keegan can go real low. He certainly teamed up great with Phil Mickelson. There are a lot of great pluses about Keegan, but the most important thing he brings to it is his unbridled passion to play on the Ryder Cup team.
Thank you, Captain, very much. And Keegan, congratulations and welcome to Team USA. Can you let us know what it felt like when you got that phone call from Captain Watson, please?
Well, first off, I'd like to thank the captain and all the assistants for all they've done, and the PGA of America and President Ted Bishop. I finished up in Boston, and I was walking up 18, and the entire crowd basically started chanting Ryder Cup, which was very special for me personally. It's my hometown, and I got done, and I was in the parking lot with my girlfriend Jillian, and I was pretty down. I was thinking that there was a good chance I wasn't going to be on this team, and the captain called me and told me I was on the team, and I just hugged Jillian, and it actually was pretty emotional. I've made no secret of how important this team is to me, and how bad I want to go back and win the Ryder Cup. I think that this is a redemption year for a lot of guys that were on the team last year, and it's just going to be an unbelievable trip over to Scotland.
Keegan, thank you very much. We'll go ahead and start taking questions, ladies and gentlemen, from Studio 8H, and we'll begin with the first question from Golf Channel's Rich Lerner. Rich?
Keegan, congratulations at Medina. For the first 2 days, you were an absolute ball of fire. You were really entertaining. You have any problems whatsoever fist pumping in the face of the Scottish fans?
It's going to be interesting. I've played on, this would be my second Ryder Cup and a President's Cup team, but they've all been at home. So, I'm going to lean on a lot of the veterans to kind of guide me, and obviously Phil a bunch. And, I think that I need to be respectful to the fans and to their team. We're going to be in their home turf, and, but I'm not going to hide any emotion. I think the Ryder Cup is a time to let the emotion come out of you. We're so often trying to fight and hold it down, and I think the Ryder Cup is a great example of when you can just let it go, and sometimes that can make you play great golf.
One of the things that you look for in a Ryder Cup player is how do they play match play? Well, the second player has a pretty darn good record in match play. If you look at the Accenture World Match Play, Hunter Mahan has really shined, and he's been there. I think in the top top 3 in the last, or top 5 in the last 4 years. So match play seems to be his forte. And going into the Ryder Cup, match play is a little different than medal play. When you have somebody who can understand how to play not only the course but the player, that's an advantage. Some people they don't shine in match play, but Hunter Mahan is that person. Hunter's also had just a wonderful stretch of golf recently. If you look at the statistics, and God, I've been looking at these darn statistics for a long time, but the statistics that really pop out about Hunter is that he led greens in regulation in 3 of the last 4 tournaments he played in. And he's really a great ball striker, and he's coming into his own right now. He struggled earlier this year, but he is really starting to play some great golf. And I fully expect him to be there. And Hunter, don't worry, you're probably going to go 5.
Hunter, congratulations and welcome to your 3rd Ryder Cup team. You as well. We'd like to know what that phone call was like to you when you picked up the call.
Yeah, like Keegan said, you're nervous. There's a lot of great players who could have made this team, and you really have no idea. You really don't know. You're hoping for the best, but he sent me a text. I was on a flight here, and as soon as I landed, I walked off the plane and made the phone call, and was able to talk to him, and he immediately said, welcome to the Ryder Cup team, and it it felt like just a huge weight was lifted off my shoulders. I can finally breathe again normally, and go to sleep, and it feels amazing, because this is something. I know these guys had a tough time in Medina. I had a tough time in 10. So we have a lot to play for on this team.
Thank you, Hunter. We'll come back to Studio 8H for some questions. Mark, on microphone number 1, please.
Hey, Hunter, Mark Cannizzaro from the New York Post. Can you talk a little bit about where you think you'd be right now had you not won Barclays, and what that meant to you?
Obviously a huge, timely win. The game was coming around. I felt pretty good from the British on, and played well at Bridgestone and played well at the PGA. So I felt things were right there. For some reason, going into Ridgewood, I had this calm over me. I had this great confidence. I felt fantastic about my game. I felt rested, and went out there and played well. Obviously, that was a massive for my FedEx Cup and for making the Ryder Cup team. And if I didn't win there, I would have had to play extremely well last week to be a part of this team. So winning is everything in golf, and I couldn't have won a bigger tournament at the right time.
Question on microphone number 2, Hank.
Hunter, congratulations. Hank Gold, New York Daily News. Keegan talked about redemption for Medina. I was just wondering about your thoughts redeeming yourself and the team for Celtic Manor.
Yeah, I think redemption is going to be a strong word amongst all the players. Europe has flat out kicked our butt the last 10 or 15 years, and that's just the way it is. And everyone's going to work extremely hard over the next 24 days and getting ready for it. We're all going to be mentally, physically prepared for the challenge, because we have a great challenge ahead of us. But I think we're extremely motivated, and we have a lot to prove, I think, amongst each player. And I think we can't wait to get over and start going to work and start putting on the uniform and see the flag everywhere, and just really get in the spirit, because we have a tough challenge, but we are extremely excited, and we can't wait to go over to Scotland and get ready for battle.
Well, the final selection of the night, it really came to me this morning after struggling with a couple of different players, who was going to be best for the team. I kind of had a revelation this morning. I just took a look at the last time the Ryder Cup was played, and Ted Bishop had sent me all. This is Mr. Statman, by the way. He has more stats on the Ryder Cup than he can shake a stick at. And I was cleaning up all these stats and putting them in folders and things like that. And this morning, and the last one was out there was the results from 2012 Ryder Cup right there. I look down there and I see Webb Simpson, 5-4. Webb Simpson, 5-4. And I said, that's got to be the guy. Webb Simpson's my next pick, my third pick. Webb is, he played in the Ryder Cup in 2012, did very well. He has a game that I played with him a couple of rounds at the Greenbrier Classic this year, and he played not so well, but then the last 2 rounds he shot 68 and then lights out in the last round 63. And he has the ability to go real low, but more importantly, in our conversations, I liked his desire to be on the team. He showed just such a strong desire to be in the team, and he has a performance to. He's had the performance this year to be one of the picks, but secretly, I think the thing that I looked at as far as the stats were concerned were last year's stats for Webb. He ran the tables in the fall. And I'm kind of a person who plays by the seasons. I never played very well in the fall, but I played well in the winter. I liked the winter because I grew up in Kansas City, played golf in the winter, got out there, wanted to get off to a good start. But last year he had a really good stretch in the winter, or in the fall, excuse me. And the fall begins September 22nd when we go through the solstice. And I think Webb's the guy.
Well, Webb, congratulations. And what does it feel like to hear those words coming from Captain Watson? And we know your emotional side, so we definitely want to hear what that phone call was like with you.
Yes, I mean, it was, obviously one of the greatest calls I've ever gotten. There was a lot going on the past few weeks with the Ryder Cup and me, and so many guys like Hunter and Keegan talked about that were playing well that were going to be good possibilities for a pick. So I knew I was in the mix, but I had to play well. And last week was kind of an emotional roller coaster for me, and didn't really know where I stood when I finished the golf tournament. But I didn't sleep much last night. I got a call early this morning. Fortunately, I was up. I saw that Captain Watson was calling me, and he asked me a question about what he thought I brought to the team, and we had a good conversation, and he told me I was a pick. And I was elated. It was 5 in the morning my time here, but I got out of bed, and unfortunately I didn't have anybody to celebrate with, so I was by myself, and I was pretty pumped up about it.
Again, the decisions, there were several people in the mix in the decisions for my 3 picks. And as Webb said and Hunter said, there are a lot of players right now starting to play well from the American side, and that's a good thing, especially going in 24 days from today. We've got some players who are starting to run the tables, and we're going to need it. The European team on paper has been touted by television people and pundits as being the favorites, that we're the underdogs. But I have a fundamental belief in our team, and more importantly, our players have a fundamental belief in themselves that they can go and win the Ryder Cup.